Hello everyone, welcome back to Bootstrap Workbench. Today I want to talk about reading and programming the TYT MD-2017 dual band 2 meter and 70 centimeter handheld radio uh, that does both analog and DMR. So the first thing that you need to do is make sure that you have a fully charged battery on the handheld. And then after that, you'll need to get the CPS software and the USB driver. Once you have your browser open, type in TYT downloads, and one of the first results should be for www.tyt888.com / mod equal download or something along those lines. If you go to that page and scroll down, for the MD-2017, you can use either the 100,000 contact version or the 10,000 contact version. Click whichever one you want to download. The other item that you might need is the USB driver. When you scroll down through the list, you're going to be looking for USB driver DMR. Now, I've already downloaded all of these files just because sometimes the downloads take a little while to virus scan on my system. So let me go ahead and grab my programming cable for my TYT and the radio off of the charger. And then I'm going to go ahead and open the the zip file that I downloaded for 100,000 contacts, which is this 2017 0803 163357 file. And then we'll extract that file. The default choice should be fine. And then we can drill down. And what you'll see is a CPS RAR file. If you have 7-zip installed, then you can open that archive, extract the file. If you don't have 7-zip installed, then you'll need to go out, get that, install it, and then you can handle this CPS RAR file. So now we have our CPS 2017 set up. I'll go ahead and run that. If you get your user account control prompt, just go ahead and click yes. On the welcome screen, click next, and you'll need to choose where to install it. The default should be fine. You'll need to choose the program folder. Default, again, should be fine. And on the setup complete screen, just click finish. We can go ahead and minimize that. And you see CPS, it's created a CPS 2017 version 1.17 icon here on my desktop. Driver or the CPS version may change, but you want to see that it is the 2017 and not the MD-380. So at this point, we can connect the programming cable to the side of the radio, to the option connector on the side. This will be where your hand mic connects. So if you have your hand mic attached to the radio, you'll need to disconnect that. I'm going to go into my device manager. You don't have to do that. I'm just doing it to show what happens when you plug in the programming cable that's attached to the radio and the radio is off. Nothing happens. The interface chip that's used to talk between the radio and the PC is inside the radio, and so it's not on until the radio is turned on. I'll go ahead and turn my radio on now. My radio is on, and you'll see digital radio in USB mode here on the screen. Now, Windows should be able to detect what this device is, and after the driver is installed, under Universal Serial Bus Controllers, you'll see STM device in DFU mode. Sometimes that doesn't work. So what you can do is with the driver that we downloaded, which is a RAR file, in this case 2017 01 03 100107, we can open that with 7-zip, and we have a USB driver in this folder. So I'll extract that, close 7-zip, and we'll go into the USB driver folder. Now, once you're in this folder, you'll see another RAR file, USB driver for dmrradio.rar. Use WinZip to extract that one as well. The other folder that's in there is for analog only radios, and that's not what we want. So we'll go into that folder, and at this point you'll need to know what version of Windows you have with regard to whether it's 32-bit or 64-bit. If you have 32-bit Windows, use the x86 installer. If you have 64-bit Windows, use the AMD64. There is another version here for IA64, but almost nobody has IA64. If you have it, you know that's what you have. So I'll go ahead and run this installer. And again, if you get your user account control prompt, click yes. Now, nothing will pop up on the screen. As soon as the spinning icon goes away, then the driver is installed. We can go back to our device manager and we'll actually see STM device in DFU mode here. At this point, what I'm going to do is, since we just installed the driver, I'm going to disconnect the programming cable from the computer. I'm going to go ahead and start the CPS, and then I'm going to plug the programming cable in. You should hear tones from the computer telling you it's detected a device, just like that. Now, once the device has been detected, you can go to the program menu, click Read Data, click OK. On the front of the radio, it should say PC Program USB mode, and you should see this progress bar advancing. Once it's done, the radio will restart. That's perfectly normal. So now you can see we have additional information here on the screen. If we go into basic information, general settings, the important information to have is radio name. You want to put your amateur radio call sign there. Radio ID, put your DMR mark, user ID there. And then if you scroll down, I don't want to give away too much information here. But needless to say, there are two fields further down, and you can populate those. That information will come up when the radio starts. I'll provide a link to that information below. In my case, it's my call sign and my telephone number, and I don't really want to give my telephone number out. So once you've set that information, you can go into your channel information and add channels. Now, in the channels that you have configured here, let me find one to go into. This is a local analog repeater, 25 kilohertz bandwidth. There's my alpha channel name, my receive frequency, my transmit frequency, whether or not I want to allow talk around, my configuration for my CTCSS. On a lot of systems, you'll want to set QT reverse to silent. Now, for a digital repeater, let me scroll down and find one here. There's a test repeater that I'm going to be setting up. So channel mode is digital, bandwidth 12.5. You can set your scan list, alpha tag, receive frequency, transmit frequency, whether you allow talk around or not. If it's a receive only channel, like you want to listen to an analog channel in the public safety band, you can set receive only. Once you tell it digital, you won't have the ability to set any analog data, but you do get the ability to set your digital data as towards color code, repeater slot, things along those lines. I don't have the GPS variant, so I've got my GPS set to none. Now, one catch here that you'll run into if you don't know about it is you can set your scan list, but you still have to go to scan list and then add from the available channels into the channel member. You can also set priority channel 1, priority channel 2 if you want that capability. TX designated channel, whether it was your last designated channel or if you always want to TX on a certain channel. Some applications you may want to do that. Let me close a couple of these windows here. Zone information. So what will happen is you can go in and add channels to the radio. They won't show up on the display until you go into this zone information window and take your list of available channels and add those channels into either channel member A or channel member B. Channel member A has to be your UHF channels. Channel member B has to be your VHF channels. So let's see what else we would need here. I think that's going to be the basics for getting into what you need to there. So once you've configured all this information the way that you want it, you can go ahead and go to Program, Write Data, click OK, and you'll see PC Program USB mode on the front of your radio, and you'll see your progress bar. Now, uploading to the radio is always slower than downloading from the radio. It's just going to take a certain amount of time. Now, one interesting feature on the MD-2017 CPS is you have the ability to load MD-380 code plugs, and it will convert that code plug into an MD-2017 code plug, which you can then upload to your radio or store locally. You can't take that code plug and then load it into an MD-380. It's just not going to work. So make sure that if you're going to open an MD-380 code plug in the MD-2017 CPS, that you have a safe copy of your MD-380 code plug somewhere, or that you've renamed this to be an MD-2017 code plug, and you have the original copy of the file somewhere, however you want to do that. So once your data is finished uploading to the radio, then it'll tell you that it's successful. The radio will restart, and your radio will be usable. You can disconnect your programming cable, unhook it from the side of your radio, reattach your hand mic if that's what you're using, or reattach the cover plate if that's the configuration that you're in. So that's basically it. I would reiterate on the radio ID, make sure you use your DMR mark ID. Don't use mine. They're easy to get. You can just go to DMR mark and request a user ID from them. Don't request a repeater ID unless you're building a repeater, and then in that case you wouldn't be programming an MD-2017. That's pretty much going to be everything. I'll put some links down below that I find pertinent. And then also, if you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them down below. And I hope you found this video informative. And I also hope that you have a great day. Thanks for watching.